Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Friday morning to you all. I hope you guys are feeling great this morning. I'm sure most of you are. I would think so. I would hope so. It is Friday, so we're all thankful for that as we heading on to our weekend. So I got you a weather update this morning on what could potentially unfold today. Expecting in a couple areas we need to watch out for a flooding risk. There is a severe weather threat, but not a very huge severe weather threat. So we're just going to break down everything and give you a very, very, very brief update on the tropics because nothing's really changed. We still do not have Tropical Storm Bonnie as of the 5 a.m. update, but I'm not going to guarantee it, but I'm pretty certain we're going to have Bonnie by the time we get to the 8 a.m. update or the 11 a.m. update. But really, that doesn't matter for the lower 48. This is heading towards Nicaragua and Costa Rica, so it's not going to affect the lower 48. But there's just a few things to talk about this morning. If you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. It's July 1st, so to me that is basically the beginning of the second half of the year. So I'm hoping for another successful half of the year. Beginning of 2022 was really awesome. It was huge. It was a game changer for me. It was all because of y'all, so I really appreciate the support. It's been a blessing being able to talk about what I love on a platform like this, so I really appreciate every single one of y'all for tuning in each and every day, especially the folks that have tuned in during the slower times. It's really awesome to just, even though the growth is really slow, that you guys still tune in, even when there's not a huge topic to latch on to. So I really appreciate y'all. If you guys got anything that I can pray about, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it, and it gives a whole lot of other people an opportunity to do so too. If you notice, a lot of people will interact with you guys, and your prayer requests will get liked. That tells me that a lot of people are reading it and praying over it, so that's always good. So let's keep that up. I appreciate the family atmosphere, and let's get rolling this morning so we all can get through with our Friday and head on to the weekend. All right, so water vapor loop. There's an upper trough swinging through the western Great Lakes. This will actually spark some severe storms across this entire area of the country right into here. Now, there's only a marginal risk for severe storms. There is a slight risk of severe storms up here in this part of the country in areas of Wyoming, South Dakota. But in general, for a large portion of the country, there is just a general risk of storms. You just got a moist flow, a lot of moist air riding into the Gulf states, deep south to southeast. Got a little bit of spin off the coast of Georgia and the Carolinas. And that's providing a lot of wet conditions for areas for the South Carolina and Georgia coast this morning. And then it's a wet morning, in and around the Houston area, and will continue to be the case throughout the day as we get tropical downpours throughout basically the entire, all the Gulf states, pretty much Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, the Panhandle, Florida, places like that. So the Storm Prediction Center, what we got going on here, a large slither of a marginal risk right here just south of Chicago. This is cutting through areas of Kansas. Going through Kansas City, just north of St. Louis. This rides to right in the middle of Illinois, northern Indiana, southern areas of Michigan, and then a whole nother area right in here for the northeast that we need to watch out for some severe storms today. This includes big cities like Pittsburgh. This thing almost gets down to Charleston, West Virginia, almost includes Buffalo, includes Binghamton, and every small town in between in this dark green area. Almost goes back to Columbus, Ohio, but we're just expecting some strong to severe storms, the possibility for them, not an outbreak or anything like that. But with this upper trough swinging through here, this will provide forcing enough for some storms at the base of it, which is which is pretty common with these kind of setups as it kind of pulls up rich, moist air all the way from the Gulf. So tornado threat with these pretty much lower than 2%. Wind threat is there. 5% risk of damaging winds occurring in this region, 25 miles in any given location, but not a big threat. Hail risk, not a big threat either. So definitely don't really have big-time dynamics for big hail-producing storms. Let's take a look at what is still PTC2. By the time some of you folks watch that, this might be Tropical Storm Bonnie. All in all, none of that really matters. The same pretty much impacts for you folks in Nicaragua and areas of Costa Rica. But it's going across such a small piece of land in Central America, it's not even going to have time to really weaken. It's going to head right back into the Eastern Pacific, probably regain any strength that it loses, and then likely become a hurricane well off the coast of the southern coast of Mexico on the Pacific side. So We'll see what happens. We will. It's going to be interesting. But moving forward here, there's not really a lot to talk about with it. But you can see the convection really blowing up this morning with Dmax occurring diurnal minimum. I'm at diurnal maximum, which is a favorable period for strengthening with these tropical systems that normally occur in the morning hours. And of course, it's taking advantage of that. And it's probably in its most favorable environment of the entire life of this system, dating back to last week. It seems like we've been talking about this for a year now. But it's taken advantage finally of an environment, a little bit too much land interaction over the last couple of days with South America. But she's looking healthy this morning and will likely be upgraded to Bonnie within the next update or two. The excessive rainfall outlook. There's a little small slight risk in the southern section of South Carolina, very, very small section of Georgia. That is at least a 15% chance of flash flooding occurring, flash flood guidance occurring. So whatever that is for your, whatever criteria that is for your specific area. The drought monitor was updated, and there's a lot of areas that are now in a severe drought in areas of the Carolinas and Georgia. So this rain is needed, and we'll hopefully see on the next update in about a week if things improve. There's normally a week lag with this kind of deal. But a slight risk down here from this tropical disturbance in the northwest Gulf of Mexico that is moving inland now, and you will continue to see a lot of rain. And I really think this becomes more enhanced tonight, where y'all see a lot of rain, especially in southwest Louisiana and far southeast areas and eastern areas of Texas. So we'll continue to watch that. But let's take a look at each individual section as we always do. The HRRR model. We'll start this off around 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Central Time. And here we go. Here's this little spin. And this is continuing to push moisture into the coastline of South Carolina, Georgia, even into southeast North Carolina a little bit later today. So if you head to the beach today, don't let this discourage you too much, but it's definitely going to be a rainy first day. It's not going to be the most pleasant drive to the beach if you're heading to the Carolina coastline. Clouds and a lot of heavy tropical downpours. Some of these storms will make it all the way into the upstate of South Carolina, all the way maybe back to Atlanta. We'll watch that, but definitely a rainy, kind of dreary Friday, if you will. Definitely very moist outside, very humid, but the temperatures aren't going to really rise into the 90s due to all the rain falling. But even outside of this disturbance and this disturbance, right, you still have chances of showers and storms in Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia. But once you start to get into Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, kind of points north into this little slither right here, you probably lessen somewhat, and then you go a little bit further north and you have the severe weather threat. But you watch this big plume of moisture a little bit later this afternoon that might get developing here in Louisiana. This could drop a lot of rain very quickly. Several inches of rain is certainly possible. I want to show you this little spin off the Carolina, Georgia coastline here. And this is only in like 6 or 7 frames here. But if you look really closely here, there is a little spin. That is our little upper level trough, upper level low, if you will. Nothing tropical really about it. If it was a position maybe a little bit further east over the Gulf Stream, if it was could be over water a little bit longer, maybe it would have a chance to really get going, but for now, that's not expected at all. This is even being discussed by the National Hurricane Center. But this is going to push a lot of moisture into the Carolina coastline today, and we'll continue to watch this, and there might be a little bit of a flood threat in and around Savannah, Beaufort, maybe all the way up to Charleston. Charleston floods very easily, especially for my folks locally. They know this. Charleston floods even when we have just high tides sometimes. The water comes through the drainage systems, and you guys can flood big time. But in general today, we'll keep moving. Rain from the latest HRRR model. This is probably overdone. This is trying to show over 10 inches of rain for areas of southwest Louisiana. I don't think we're going to get this much rain, but there is pockets of certainly areas could get 5 to 6 inches of rain. And then look at that over here in South Carolina, areas of Georgia, pockets of rain pushing maybe 2 to 4 inches are certainly possible. So it's something we need to really watch out for. Nothing too crazy or anything like that, but it's just getting to that time of the year, where you have just little spins out there that get going, that can drop a lot of rain. Most of these areas need the rain, so it's kind of a good thing. But of course, you don't need it too fast. Up here in the Northeast, we're really watching this area right into here that can really have a bubble up some severe storms. So we're getting into the mid-afternoon hours, late afternoon hours, here come these storms. Watch out, Cleveland. Maybe even Detroit. These will continue to kind of move into Ohio. Maybe some pop-up storms right into here in southern sections of Ohio. Watch out, Pittsburgh. It's probably a little small on your screen, but watch out, central Ohio, getting into southeast Ohio. Maybe some strong storms today, but you guys, I don't think it's anything to really worry about. Just typical summer activity, just a marginal risk. That is a level 1 out of 5. So I really don't think it's a big deal to worry about. But of course, if you get under one of these more intense storms, you could get severe warned. Not really expecting any kind of tornado threat with this setup at all. But just need to watch out here. And these storms will lose their punch as the sun goes down. You just lose that daytime instability and daylight in general, and then more just some showers and maybe a rumble of thunder rolls through the interior northeast, southern New England throughout the overnight hours. So you move a little bit further west into the north central U.S. Like I said, some storms could develop here in areas of central Illinois, northern Indiana. But, I'm not expecting much from these, but that is why there's a marginal risk, because there could be some severe storms with this. But like I said, maybe some small hail damaging winds in areas of northern Indiana, central Indiana, areas of central Illinois, all the way down to Missouri. We'll go a closer look at Missouri here in a second. But other than that, watch out for some nasty storms. Over here in South Dakota, Wyoming, these storms could be the ones that actually pack a big punch. Damaging wind threat is there. All threats are there. Besides tornado threat, it's not really big with this setup. But there's definitely more of an enhanced wind threat with these storms over here. So be careful over there in western areas of South Dakota, northeast areas of Wyoming a little bit later today. But my folks down here in the south central U.S., expect some flooding rains down here and far deep down in southeast areas of Texas. Really speaking of areas in Houston, points north and points east, you guys could definitely get some nasty training of storms where you just have tropical downpours that kind of go over the same areas. So please be mindful of flooding today in this part of the country. You guys certainly could get hit hard today with just a lot of heavy tropical downpours. It's just, a lot of these storms are not going to be really strong to severe. They're just going to unload a ton of rain on you guys very quickly. Moving forward here, watch out for some severe storms. Watch out St. Louis, Kansas City, central, Columbia, Missouri. You guys could see some severe storms today. I've been hearing areas maybe in southern Missouri starting to get kind of dry. I feel like somebody said that. I think they said southeast Missouri hasn't received rain in quite some time after seeing a lot of rain over the spring. But we'll continue to watch that. But a strong, severe storm or two is possible in Kansas today. Look at this little storm. Has a little bit of a hook on it. So we'll watch this. Maybe a photogenic supercell or two. But all in all, not too crazy out there. Really isn't. So that's all I got, guys. Thank you all for an incredible first half of 2022. I'm looking for big-time growth. I've been able to really take advantage of the free time I've gotten. I've been able to put a lot of time into other things like my physical health. I've never been unhealthy, but working out and being in shape is another, certainly a more, it's became more of a passion of mine over the last, I would say 2 or 3 months, and I've kind of took it to the next level. So I've been able to kind of focus my mind on other things and just work on other things with my walk with God, things like that. And I've just been able to mindfully put technically more important things, really more important things first when the weather was very consuming back in the early part of the year. So I've been able to kind of strengthen my mindset so when it does get busy again, I can prioritize things a lot better. So kind of preparing myself for the next wave of busyness. But I'm really looking forward to the growth with you guys throughout the years and these weeks and months leading up. It's a big-time hurricane season activity. So I appreciate you guys. God bless you all. You have a great start to your weekend. And I will likely get you a video tonight. God bless.